Can you retire by 45 with options trading? Most people think that you need $1 million. You don't need $1 million. You need an income system. I'm going to show you how to do this, right? So today you're going to learn the 1% weekly engine, what 1% a week really does. You're going to learn about income security, how controlled withdrawals allows you to pay yourself, increase your paycheck, and increase your account size. The exact strategy, the high probability methodology I use to target 1% weekly returns, and the 60-minute blueprint on how I do this exact strategy in about 1 hour per week. We want to start by looking at this chart. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, and at 1% a week, your account doesn't grow, it accelerates. And 1% of your capital is manageable. This chart makes it look a little aggressive because you can see it growing to $1 million, but I'm going to show you in a minute how it's not that aggressive. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. And the key is consistency beats aggression. It's not so much about what you make as long as you're consistently increasing slowly. Doesn't really matter if you hit 1%, 5%, whatever. It's all about consistency. And so when we're using this, I'm going to talk about withdrawals now. That first chart was count growth. Now we're going to talk about withdrawals. So what we do is we take profit on our profit. We withdraw on our profit. We don't touch the principal ever. We only withdraw 10% of the profit. And so if the account makes $1,750 in a week, we withdraw $175. And the engine will keep compounding at 0.9%. Now, you might be saying, well, that's no good. I need more than $175. Just hang on. I'm going to show you how you can increase your paycheck. Here is your weekly withdrawals. This is a weekly paycheck. So if you notice here on this chart, you're starting out only making, $200 a week. That's not a lot, but it grows quickly to where you're making up to $2,000 a week. Now, I don't know about you, but that's more like it. But the key is you have to be patient because your income scales as the engine scales. Now, if you start taking all of your profits, your account's not going to grow. You're not going to increase your weekly account balance. That's the key. So how do we do this? Well, I keep it simple. I do what is called the strategy stack. I collect premium, I manage it early, and I have high probability. We're going for 1% a week. And I do it in an hour a week too, which is pretty cool. On Mondays, we take the trade. On Thursdays, we take a second trade and we just review it. And the whole process only takes an hour a week. I'm not studying and scanning charts all day. That makes a big difference in how you live your life because we're trying to retire here. And now I want you to look at this. This is an options chain. This is the meat of the strategy. And so it might not explain a lot to you right from the beginning, but this is what it is. On the put side, you're going to see it says 119. You're going to see the strike price of $25. And so what we're doing here is we're selling a put and we're earning $119. And we're spending $2,500. We're spending $2,500 to earn 119. That is roughly 5% ROI. And we're doing that over a 30-day option. Well, if you take 5% and you do the math, that's over 1% a week, and that's just one trade. And we do this each and every week. Now, it's not quite this simple because we have to make sure we manage our risk. We have to make sure we're not losing trades. We have to make sure a few other things. But this is the bulk of it. And we're looking for strong companies, which I have scanners that's built for that. We're looking for high trending companies that are moving in the right direction. I have scanners built for that. So the entire process is really only an hour a week. We just take a trade a week, making roughly 4 to 5% on our trades, and the reason why it averages out to 1% is because we're not risking our whole account on one trade, because we want to make sure that we always have capital, right? Now, the way that this works is we give ourselves guardrails and we keep it simple, right? We keep it simple. And so this isn't just theory, by the way. I have an example of Harp, who I just interviewed on my podcast last week. Harp followed the exact structure and he's really crushing it. He didn't get lucky. He followed the process. And so we're making it happen, not just for me, but for other people as well. And when I talk about my own personal journey, I didn't really need another indicator. I didn't need a strategy, and I needed a plan, but I needed consistent income. And I needed a system that worked, because I had a history of crashing and burning. And one of the biggest things that I think I need to explain to people is that I was using emotions. I was going after profits instead of going after a system. And when I learned to go slow, when I learned to follow the system, let the system make the decisions for me, the same system that I'm teaching you now, then I stopped allowing my emotional needs to make decisions. So here's a little thing. Leave a comment on this because I think it's a real thing. But if you allow emotions to make your decisions, you're going to end up making big mistakes. But if you allow your system to make decisions, you're going to do really well. Now, I'm not against emotion, because I'm a guy that's passionate. I follow my heart and I do the right thing based off of how I believe is right. But at the same time, I understand how emotions can sidetrack you and they can cause you to make bad decisions. So systems will save the day, and that's what I teach people. So if you want to learn a system, hey, right now it's tough out there, because the way that most people are teaching retirement, it's taking 30 years. They're hoping that they can get a number, and it's so hard to save that money because of inflation. You hope that markets cooperate. Man, that's a tough scenario. But what I'm doing is I'm building income. I'm building a machine that grows, and I'm helping you increase your paycheck. And it's based off of defined risk and weekly control. And so if you want to get information on how to do this, I have a free starter course which gets you in the right direction. It helps you plan your freedom number. It helps you know what you need to do, and you can enroll below at freedomincomeoptions.com. You can click the link in the description or in the comment. And if you like this video at all, I have a video where I go step by step on how to trade these cash secured puts. It's in the video above. Click that, watch the video, and you're going to be even further along. Thanks for watching.